the Atlanta Falcons. We're handing over the keys to Desmond Ridder, drafted a running back way too high in most people's draft. I like the move, though. And then you have, will Kyle Pitts ever be himself from college?
Yeah, so I'm optimistic of them. I like what Arthur Smith did last year. Although they finished last in their division, super competitive, had a lot of close games, won a couple games they shouldn't have. I think they were 7-10 last year. I think they can absolutely win a few more games in there. I expect them to finish better. Plus, I am optimistic of Desmond Ridder. I think he had a good opportunity last year, sitting behind, learning as he goes. Now, he played 4 games last year. It looked decent, but I think he can make that next leap. He's got a lot of talent. He's got Drake London, who I really like. They got Kyle Pitts. Is he the tight end king that everyone has anointed him as? Is Bijan as good as he is? Still some question marks, but they have the best offensive line in the league. And they also have a pretty solid defense with some good names there. So give me the Falcons, plus their addition of Jesse Bates I really like. So This team should be a division contender.
Yeah, it's really all on Desmond Ridder. And it's like, how good is he going to be? And can he be like a Dak Prescott? Like, that's really what you want him to be, ideally, if you're Atlanta. But let's get into it here, because probably the most competitive teams in this division start out facing each other week 1. We're at home versus Carolina.
Yeah, I'll give the Falcons the edge here. I think they went out, start off with a bang, and Bryce Young may be a little shaky due to expectations. Maybe he's not himself quite yet. So I will give it to the Falcons.
All right. And then this is actually the start of a 2-game homestand. And the next game we're playing at home versus Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers.
And I think, again, this is a Falcons team that wants to start off hot. They get the win against Green Bay. Going to 2-0.
That's too bad. You start out 2-0. Then you have to go all the way on the road up to the glove, Detroit.
Yeah, I'll give the Lions the win here. Start off hot, you get 2 good wins, but then you run into a Super Bowl contender.
All right, and then another one. We're on ESPN Plus at 9:30 a.m. in the morning in London versus the Jacksonville Jaguars.
If you remember last year, they had one of the best games of the year against them. This is going to be highly competitive, but Jacksonville International, they're like almost undefeated. So I'll give Jacksonville the edge here.
Yeah, and that's with like Blake Bortles and Chad Henne playing quarterback.
This is like also one of the worst. That was like terrible Jaguars. This is a team that should be a hell of a lot better.
And then 2 games on the road. London, usually there's a bye after this, but they don't have one. But we're going at 1:00 at home versus Houston.
I'll give the Falcons the win here. I think they have a lot more talent. Interested to see how the Texans perform, but this should be a win that they can get after starting off a little slump.
Okay. And then we are still at home, the 2-game homestand last of it versus Washington and the Howling Commanders.
Yeah, I'll give the Falcons the edge here. I think they should win out. Interested to see how the Commanders are with Eric Bieniemy, but I just think that the Falcons have way more talent.
And then another 2-game road trip starting out not too far away in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, got to give them the edge here. Gotta. I don't know. I don't have much optimism in Tampa Bay. Seems like a team that's heavily regressing. So give me the Falcons.
Okay. And then beat the regressing Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then we are on the road versus the regressing Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
A tough one.
That's tougher than it seems, right? So Titans team that usually overperforms, I feel. They're 5-2 at this point. So I'll have them losing this game. I think there's a coaching mismatch here. Give me the Titans to win that one, even though they probably shouldn't.
Yeah, I could see Derrick Henry starting to roll at that point.
Yeah.
And then we are back at home for 1 week, and we are facing off against 1:00 Kirk.
Ooh, 1:00 Kirk. I'll give the Vikings the win there. Kirk Cousins on 1:00 is ridiculous.
It's just respect to Justin Jefferson too.
Yeah, like I don't think there's anybody in their secondary. Sorry, Jeffrey Okudah. Sorry, AJ Terrell. I don't think you can cover him.
And then our week before the bye, kind of stumbling into it 5-4, but that's okay because we're going on the road to the worst team's stadium in the NFL this year.
Worst team stadium?
Yeah, Cardinals.
Cardinals. Oh, Win. W.
It's a win. And then, so we have week 11 off. What's your thoughts on them getting a bye there?
I like it. I mean, again, kind of at the perfect point. At this point, they're 6-4, so they're probably in the lead of the division. Because the Saints are 5-5. So yeah, they are division leaders at this point. I think they feel good. I think they feel if they can finish strong, then they can win the division and maybe a playoff game.
Okay. And then off the bye, you had them losing to the Saints. Or no, you had them beating the Saints. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll stay confident. So in our Saints preview, I picked the Saints to beat the Falcons here. And I'll be consistent here. The Falcons lose to the Saints. Division makes it a lot more interesting.
All right. And then we are on the road for 1 week. A December game at 1 o'clock in New York versus the Jets. It's a tough one.
Ooh. Shit. This is tough. I'll pay respect to Aaron Rodgers here. I'll have them falling to the Jets here.
Yeah, just the Jets defense too, I feel like.
Yeah, Sauce Gardner. I think he can take care of business.
That's fine because we're going back home versus Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers.
The Baker Neals. I'll take them beating Baker and those Buccaneers.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right. So we're 8-5 now. Pretty good record. And then we are going on the road to Carolina.
They beat the Panthers the first time.
Yeah.
I think now division games are weird. And usually typically a split is more common. So I'll actually have the Panthers beating them here.
Yeah.
I think it's possible that they split with them. Really depends on how good Bryce Young is. But I think by then he should start to get some continuity.
Yeah, he'll start to get some continuity because they'll probably be like out of the playoff picture by then, but he'll be starting to cook. So it doesn't really matter as much. So
yeah, low expectations. Yeah, and it's division. Sure. Division games are weird.
And then we are back home versus the Indianapolis Colts.
I'll give them the win here. I think they're starting to be worried about that division. Can we just lock it up, finish strong? I think they start to push, start to win some games.
That's tough, though, because we are on the road in Chicago in December.
December, cold game.
New Year's Eve, actually.
Most likely going to be snowing there. This could kind of remind me of the monsoon game that they had last year, where neither team really wins. But right now they're 9-6. I'll take them to lose against the Bears.
Okay, so we are 9-7. So the Saints were 8-8 in our previous preview, so that would set it up for a winner-take-all division game, which I think it should come down to that. And then
I had the Falcons winning this and finishing strong to clinch the division week 18, and they go from last to first, just like we've seen multiple times throughout the last 5 years in the NFC.
Yeah, and I feel like 10-7 is really not that crazy.
No, I mean, you got a lot more talented. You got bolstered secondary. You signed Jesse Bates. What can you get out of Jeffrey Okudah? You got him for nothing. And then you also drafted the best running back in the draft. Could he be the next Saquon? A lot of questions there. Can Kyle Pitts finally be properly utilized? Drake London, can he have his second-year leap? We have no idea what to expect from Desmond Ridder. If he's good, then I think 10 wins is perfect. This is exactly where I expected them to